Is it my... Hello, everyone. Ajibola Jibril, thank you for joining in. Forward Sarah-san, hello. Timmy Tokwe, 1,321, thank you for joining in. Max Hamani, thank you for joining in. And Sissy Presh, hello. Big Timmy, hello. Thank you for joining in. Welcome everyone to Life's Journey. We're starting almost an hour later than we should have started today. And first of all, before we start, I'd like to apologize that we are not live on our YouTube. That's the reason why we're starting so late. We're unable to get our YouTube going. The internet service provider I was supposed to use for the YouTube wasn't just coming on. I did everything possible, but it wasn't coming on. So I decided to live stream on my IG, and then later on, I will be uploading it onto my YouTube page. So thank you everyone for joining in. And if you are joining us for the very first time, this is Life's Journey with Benedicta. Life's Journey with Benedicta comes up every Saturday, late night Saturdays. But we've been on a break for like a month because I took a month to do so many other things that came up. But hopefully we're back up and we are going to be having Life's Journey every Saturday night like we have always. So on this show, we talk about topical issues that bothers on societal norms, societal expectations, challenges that we go through on our life's journey. We come here to discuss our challenges, find solutions to these challenges. We learn by listening to people tell their stories. It is never good to learn from your own personal experience. So if you have an experience that you would like to share with us on this show, please, you are welcome to join us live on any Saturday at all. And on today's topic, we are going to be discussing extensively on why women continue to stay in toxic marriage. Why do women stay in toxic marriage? And how do we break this circle? This video, or rather today's show, is a tribute to the late Osinachi Nwachukwu. The late Osinachi Nwachukwu died tragically in circumstances that I believe would have been avoided if only she spoke out. If only she wasn't silenced by some of the factors that we will be discussing today, she will probably have been alive today. And if the people she confided in have spoken up on her behalf, maybe she would still be here with us. Her ministry blessed me personally in ways that I cannot explain. And I know I'm not just speaking for myself. Her ministry was a blessing to the body of Christ. If you are a Christian or you're a believer, especially if you're a Nigerian and you're a believer, you would have heard of the name Osinachi Nwachukwu. Even if you haven't met her in person, you would have heard one of her songs or all of her songs. She was an embodiment of praise. She allowed herself to be used by Almighty Yahweh. She was gifted. She was talented. We cannot dispute that. We cannot take that away from her. So her death has come to us all as a shock. As painful as it is, we would like to take the lessons there are in her painful exits. Yes, we are mourning her death. Currently, according to the news report, the family has requested for an autopsy. And currently, the result of the autopsy is being waited upon. The National Hospital Abuja has said once the autopsy result is out, that is going to be handed over to the police for them to read out or tell the public the details of the autopsy findings. We are all eagerly waiting for this autopsy result. But while we are waiting for the autopsy result, we would like to discuss the life and times of the late Osinachi Nwachukwu, especially as regards with her alleged toxic marriage. We have heard from her family members, we have heard from her twin sister, we have heard from her pastor, we have heard from her friends that she confided in while she was alive. We can say that Osinachi had a troubled marriage, an extremely toxic marriage, but why she continued to remain in this marriage is what I believe everyone wants to know. I was once in a toxic marriage, and I know what it's like to speak out. I know what it's like to speak up. It is almost an impossibility. People will say, oh, why didn't she speak out? Come on, was she stupid? Was she brainwashed? Was she being spiritually manipulated? You know, in this part of the world, we believe a lot in juju, jazz. You see, sometimes, whether I like to believe it or not, I don't believe in juju, that I don't believe she was spiritually manipulated and that was why she kept quiet. No. A lot of women keep quiet when they're in abusive marriages. I was in an abusive marriage, and for 9 whole years, I couldn't confide in my own mother. For 9 whole years, I couldn't tell my siblings. You see, you become extremely ashamed. You believe it's your fault. And sometimes you don't even know how to talk about it. Because first, you believe when you tell people, some are not even going to believe you. Those that believe you, the religious fanatics, they will tell you, you know, marriage is for better, for worse. You have to wait it out. You are in it already. You cannot exit it. Continue praying. God is going to help you. Now, these doctrines are the doctrines that we need to abolish immediately. We're not saying it is something we have to do tomorrow. We have to abolish them. We are the reasons why. We are the reason why people, women are dying every day in failed marriages. The society is the reason. The church system is the reason. The family setting is the reason. The workplace is the reason why women are dying in toxic marriages. They are afraid of coming out, because if they come out, the church system will condemn them. The family system will condemn them. The society at large will condemn them. We have to start changing these doctrines in our religious circles. From the churches, it's shocking that Islam is even better when it comes to divorce cases. They have a clear case, or rather a clear rule on what a divorced woman or a divorced man is allowed to do. They have a clear rule on how long a divorce should take. Correct me if I'm wrong. You cannot go through a divorce in the Islamic society for more than 6 months. I went through a divorce for 9 years and 2 months. Which woman or which man in his right senses is expected to stay celibate for 9 years and 2 months? For 9 years and 2 months, they tell you, oh, you're undergoing a divorce. You cannot date. You are not expected to remarry. Hello? We are living in a hypocritical society. A society that tells you to act in a certain way in front of the camera. And behind the camera, behind the scenes, you act differently. And until we start telling ourselves the truth, women will continue to die in abusive marriages because they are afraid of coming out. I can see a lot of hands up. Flogsy, Kemsy, join in. Hello, I'm going to be inviting some of you to, air your views, your opinion. Tell us what you think, about this. But I'm just going to give my own perspective on this matter because I am coming from a previous abusive relationship. It took me 9 years before I could open my mouth and tell my family members what I have been passing through for the past 9 years. And when I started talking, you will not believe what happened. A lot of people told me to pray and fast. Some told me to go on 21 days fast, that there is nothing God cannot change, that I should stand in gap for me and my ex, that if he doesn't believe in God, that I can stand in the gap and continue to pray until he changes. Now listen to me, women in toxic marriages, those of you in toxic relationships. I know some of you have been in toxic relationship for years, not even marriage, toxic relationships, and you can't come out of it. They are telling you, pray until something happens. Pray, don't leave God, hold him until something happens. Listen to me. We are all makers. We are all created by the Almighty God. That is, if you are a Christian and you believe in creation, we were created by God. You did not create a man, and a man did not create you either. So when you find out that your partner is toxic and you have tried everything humanly possible to make things work and it isn't working, my advice to you is to hand that man over to his maker. You did not create him. Hand him over to his maker. Say, Father, Lord, I hand over your son to you. Deal with him. And you walk out of that relationship. Your mental health is key. When I keep saying mental health, you don't know what it means to undergo what I call acute depression. I was diagnosed with acute depression in my 5th year in my previous marriage, and the doctors couldn't understand why I couldn't walk. Every inch of my body hurt. My mom used to hold me to the bathroom. They will hold me to get up from the bed. They will hold me and give me a sponge bath. I couldn't talk. I couldn't sign checks. I was the CEO of my company back then in Port Harcourt. Every day I used to write checks. Minimum checks I used to write in a day is 10 to 12 checks. Every day. For transactions, for payments. I couldn't write my checks. I couldn't use the bathroom. I couldn't walk properly. I couldn't eat. I couldn't talk. Every inch of my body was in pain. I was like that for nearly 2 months. Every test they did, thyroid, kidney, liver function test, every test they did came back negative. And every doctor gave me a clean bill of health. My result will state she is as fit as a fiddle. That was how fit I was medically. But I was suffering from acute depression because of many years of suppressed sadness, many years of turmoil, many years of enduring a toxic marriage. And guess what? I couldn't even talk. Talking about a bad situation is the quickest therapy or the simplest therapy. When you talk about your problems, you're able to start shedding off some of the weight. But when you're unable to even talk, you are afraid. You can't even tell the next person, this is what I am passing through. It is not easy to talk. So I hear a lot of people say, oh God, such an intelligent woman, such a talented woman. Why couldn't she talk? Eventually, when she could talk, news report has it that she confided in some of the choir members. She confided in some of her friends. The late Osinachi Nwachukwu confided in some people. And here in Nigeria, we do not know that when somebody confides in you and pleads with you, please do not tell anyone. It is your responsibility to reach out for help on behalf of that person. I am telling you this today because some of us do not know this. You will say, oh, she told me not to tell a soul. She confided in me and she made me promise I will not tell anyone. That was why I kept quiet. I'm sorry to say this, but her blood is on your hands. For as many people as she confided in, and you guys could not speak up for her, you are also to be blamed. I am sorry, but you are also to be blamed. When a woman is being battered, when a woman is being violated, when a woman is in a toxic relationship and she reaches out to you and she confides in you, you reporting to the authorities is not a breach of confidence. You reporting to the authorities is not you. It is not you disrespecting her wishes. You are doing that to save her life. Now, let me tell you this. A situation like this can be likened to someone trying to commit suicide. You find a friend trying to jump off a bridge. What do? When you see a friend trying to jump off a bridge, you immediately run and you hold that person and you tell them, stop! Do not jump off that bridge. We love you. You call 911 if you're abroad. If you're in Nigeria, you start screaming for help, right? Because that person is about to commit suicide. That person is about to take their life. Now, that is the same situation with a woman that comes to you and cries out and says, I am being abused. I am in a toxic marriage. My husband beats me up. My husband disrespects me in ways I cannot talk about. It's not only when they physically hit you. It's not only when they physically hit you that they abuse you. It's not only when they verbally abuse you that you are being violated. You can be mentally abused, physically abused, emotionally abused. And when a woman reaches out to you and tells you that he or she is being battered, is being violated, it is your responsibility to reach out to the authorities and report such a matter. You are preventing her from committing suicide. What happened to the late Osinachi Nwachukwu? If truly she died as a result of constant battery from her husband, can be likened to a suicide mission. She knew she might die one day. She knew she might die as a result of the battery. But she was too afraid to speak up. And she confided in some friends. She confided in her twin sister. She confided in some of her family members, according to news reports. Those people should have spoken up for her. So if you have a friend, you have a sister that is being abused, you know a woman out there that is being battered, and she has finally, eventually, had the courage to confide in you, that is all you need. You don't need her permission to report to the authorities. I am telling you today, you do not need her permission. Just tell her, sweetheart, everything is going to be all right. I've got you covered. I have your back. Do you know you can report to the authorities and ask to remain anonymous? She doesn't even have to know that you are the one that have told the authorities. Let the authorities go to that house, investigate, and pick up the man. Because as a survivor, I'm going to tell you, it is extremely difficult to open up your mouth and tell someone that this is what you are going through, let alone tell the authorities. So whoever is privy to that information, I'm searching, I'm trying to see. Daddy Freeze was here, but I can't find him. I wanted Daddy Freeze to join me live. I'm trying to see. I saw Daddy Freeze just now, but I can't find him. I think my network is bad, guys. There you go. I want Daddy Freeze to join us. I'm going live with Daddy Freeze. I mean, we are so passionate about this, you know, having survived domestic violence. It hits differently, you know. Hello, darling.
Hi, my love. You finally saw me.
Finally, I'm not with this.
Yes, I was just telling them that you don't see well without your glasses because we've been here for a while and what you've been saying makes so much sense. You've really, really been hitting the nail on the head. And many people consider, oh, this guy is doing something bad to his wife. If I report, I may snitch. No. If you don't report, you could lead to somebody losing their lives or limb. So you've got to be very careful. I love the points that you are sharing. So continue. I'm going to just hang on with you for about 5 minutes, hear what you're saying, drop a few comments, and then leave you guys so you guys can have your fun.
I wish it was fun today, honestly. The story it's a very sad one. It's a very sad one. I try not to picture what she went through, you know.
But you went through domestic violence.
I've been there, so I try not to picture what she went through. I'm just thinking about other people out there right now, people that we can save, people that can listen to this message and make that decision now to choose themselves. I want you, if you're going through domestic abuse right now, to make up your mind this night that you are choosing me. Say it. I am choosing me. This night, after listening to me, say it. I have been battered long enough and I am choosing me. I choose to stay alive. I am worthy of being loved. I am more than enough. You see, the problem we have is that women, a lot of women that have been battered or that have been abused for so many years begin to suffer from acute low esteem, severe case of low esteem. They begin to feel that they are no longer enough to thrive on their own. They begin to see themselves as not good enough for anyone to love. Because a lot of women, especially Nigerian women, after a certain age, they believe they are not supposed to be alone anymore. They are supposed to have a man in their lives. They are supposed to be married. They are supposed to be a Mrs. this or a Mrs. that. If they are not Mrs. this, then they are non-entities in the society. So I want you this night, if you've been suffering in silence, if you've been undergoing mental torture, physical abuse, you've been mentally abused, you've been psychologically abused, you've been battered, I want you this night to say, you know what? I don't need any man to complete me. Right now, I just want to do me. I want to save myself. And when I save myself, I want to start loving myself. If you cannot love yourself, sweetheart, you cannot love anyone. You complete you. You are all that you need to thrive, not just live, but to thrive. When I left my previous marriage, I didn't even think I would ever remarry. I didn't even know if I was going to be in another relationship. I couldn't be bothered. That moment, the picture of a perfect world I had in my head was me being able to sleep on a couch, eat my meal whenever I wanted to eat, sleep whenever I wanted to sleep, be free, hold my children's hands, take them to school, just be in their lives and pursue my career. That was the picture of the world I had in my head for myself. Just me loving myself, caring for my children. But guess what? Love came along the way. That was an added bonus. I didn't see it coming, but it came. And the reason why it was able to come, or I was able to attract love, was because I loved myself. I had myself. I sorted myself out. I brought myself out of that mess. So if you're thinking, oh, I've gotten to a certain age, I just have to be in a relationship. Oh, which man is going to marry me after now? Oh, that's what they used to tell me. Oh, let me even tell you that. Look at you at 32. Do you know how old you are? With 3 children. You have 4 children. Do you think any man is going to look at you? My dear, you are not exiting that marriage for another man to look at you. That is not your primary assignment. Your primary assignment is to stay safe. Your primary assignment is to have peace of mind. Your primary assignment is for you to start taking care of yourself and start looking good. Looking good doesn't mean dressing up in designer bags. Looking good means being able to sleep well. Having a sound sleep is all you need to look good, darling. Having a sound sleep, peace of mind, knowing fully well that they're not going to bang on your door and somebody's not going to come and strangle you in your sleep. That is all you need to know. That is all you need to look good. And that is all you need to be in the right frame of mind to move ahead in life. The system failed Osinachi. The church failed Osinachi. The society failed Osinachi. The family setting also failed Osinachi. Why am I saying they failed her? I'm not saying they failed her because they encouraged her to stay in the marriage. Because according to reports, when the family knew about the battery, she was advised to leave the marriage. But they failed her in the sense that they knew about the battery and they didn't report to the authorities. That is why I say they failed her. The church system failed Osinachi because of the erroneous doctrines that is being preached in the pulpits every day concerning marriage and divorce. You go to every church, you see the marriage counseling team. They have the marriage counseling team where they counsel couples that want to get married and couples that are going through a shaky union. But you will never go to a church. I haven't gone to any church and seen a department for divorced and separated. Why don't we have that in churches? Why don't we have that in churches? If you are going to any church now and you do not see a department where they have divorced and separated, don't go to that church. It is not complete. If you are going to preach love, if you are going to preach the love of Yahushua, you're going to preach the love that our God, Yahweh, gave to us. That love is unconditional. And that love is not biased. So if your church is biased when it comes to married people, divorced people, then that is not the church you should be going to. There should be fairness in the body of Christ. There should be equality in the body of Christ. So if that is not in the church you are going to, then there is a problem. The late Osinachi, I believe, was afraid of leaving her union for so many reasons. One, she might not be able to sing anymore on the pulpit. And there is this trend I am seeing with pastors coming online, and all of a sudden, oh, if you're in an abusive marriage, leave. Pack out of that house. Pack out of that house. Go to somewhere safe. And you can begin to pray there for God to do his miracle. You can begin to pray there if there is going to be a reconciliation. They are not hitting the nail on the head. And I see that as being intentional in avoiding the topic. Why, as a church pastor, would you tell them, pack out of the house, leave the man, pack out of the house, and go and stay somewhere safe and mind your business? Go and be living your life. Pack out of that house. Can you please complete that statement? If you're packing out, file for a divorce. You don't tell a woman to pack out, and then her life is dangling like this. She's not married. She's not single. She's not separated. What is she? A used commodity. Please, churches, I'm begging you, we need to correct this. Women should not just pack out. Pack out and go and do what? Pack out to their father's house. In a civilized country, should she be packing out? Or should that house be given to her and the children, or sold and the proceeds be split in two? You have used this woman's body. She has birthed children for you, and then she packs out. And what is she now? Is she a Mrs. Idiagbon, or she's a Mrs. Peter, or she's a Miss Francis? What is she? Pack out and file for a divorce. When you go to the American embassy and you're filling the form, there is a column where you have married, single, divorced, separated. In Nigeria, we have married or single. What kind of life is that? It took me 9 years and 2 months to obtain my divorce. My question is, for those 9 years and 2 months that I wasn't married and I was going to the court, what was I? Single? Married? I wasn't married. Neither was I single. I was separated. There is a column for it. So when you're separated, or according to our traditional rights, when the dowry is returned, you are free to remarry. But here in Nigeria, you are either married or you are single. It is wrong. Nobody should be allowed to be hanging on a limbo. You are not married, you are not single. But the man that packed you out has remarried, has moved on with his life, is now having children with another woman. But the woman that the church has advised to pack out is where? Sleeping somewhere under a bridge, sleeping with friends, or jumping from one house to another house. Please, churches, our women need to know that their identity is going to be secured. Their identity is going to be guaranteed. Their finances is going to be guaranteed. The safety and the welfare of the children is going to be guaranteed. That is for the government, the legislature, and the judiciary. These women need to know that the safety and the welfare of the children will be secured irrespective of the divorce. When women are assured of this, they will be bold, they will be brazen to come out of an abusive marriage. And that is why I say the reasons why women are not coming out is because the welfare and security of their children is not guaranteed. Their shelter, their accommodation is not guaranteed. Their identity is no longer guaranteed. What will they be addressed as? Miss, Mrs., what? So don't just tell them pack out. Encourage them to file for a divorce. The churches should begin to encourage women, men in abusive marriages to file for a divorce. Let us be truthful with ourselves. There are some relationships that has gone way beyond reconciliation. Both parties can no longer continue to live together as one. People will say, what God has put together, let no man put asunder. It is not man putting asunder, but it is man realizing that they are no longer compatible. People grow up, and stop being compatible. Some people have been living pretentious lives all their life, and one day they wake up and they decide to be true to themselves. We've heard of stories of people that are closeted, in quotes, their sexuality is all over the place. And then one day they wake up and they say, you know what? I don't think I want to continue living a lie. I want to be true to myself. And then at that point, when they decide to be true to themselves and to show you who they really are, you have to let them go. You have to accept it for what it is. You are no longer compatible. Stop punishing people. My history of ulcers started from when I realized, logically, I realized that we're no longer compatible. But spiritually, my spiritual mentors were telling me, don't you have faith in God? God can work miracles. Go on a 21 days fast. I was moving from one 21-day fast to another 21-day fast to another 21-day fast, believing that I could change what I could not change. I could change what was not in my power to change. I was living in denial. And until I woke up one day and I decided to accept the truth for what it is and move on with my life on my own path, I would never have been able to come out of it. So if you are living in denial, the truth is glaring, is in your face. You are no longer compatible. You know what the issue is. I don't know, but you know. It is left for you to stop living a lie. Come out of it. I'm a living example, though. I'm alive. Every day when I wake up, I'm alive. I don't have check by. It's not like I have money, but the joy I feel in my heart is so much. Every day I sleep, I'm at peace with myself. I'm in love. I wake up, I look at my children. I'm content. Whether I make money, whether I don't make money, I lost so much. When it comes to money, physical things, properties, I lost money in the course of gaining back my freedom. And that's why I tell you, how badly do you want to come out? What is your life worth? My life is worth more than my factories I lost. My life is worth more than all the millions I lost. My peace of mind, my happiness is worth more than everything I lost. Looking at my children, raising them is worth more than everything I lost. Is worth more than the friends I lost, my position financially in the society, my position in the church where I used to go to, you know. I was in the building committee. I was in the welfare committee. Oh, in my children's school, I was in the PTA. I was, you know, when you have money to throw around, you're everywhere. I lost all those things. And my life is worth more than all those things. And that's why I keep telling you what
I
is
want to
your
say
life.
something. I want to say something, yeah. Before I go, you had your own fair share of domestic violence, according to your testament. And you told me once that you went to a police station and the police said it's a family matter.
When I tell you that the society has failed us, the police. Yes.
As I'm going now, because my phone battery is about to die, I want you to address the judicial system. The judicial system with regards to divorce, that's dissolution, with regards to child custody, with regards to women's rights, needs a total overhaul, especially in those regards. How can somebody be doing a divorce case for 9 years? What manner of stupidity is that?
9 years and
9
2 months.
years.
And in the course of my 9 years and 2 months, I saw a woman, I told you, I saw a woman that...
And you don't get it till you are nearly 42. Is
but
that
I
not
told
that?
you of the woman I met that was in her 12th year.
In a societal structure?
I met a woman that was in her 12th year now. You remember I told you?
Yes.
I met a woman in court. She was in her 12th year.
Now in the UK, you don't
She
even
was
need
in her 12th year.
a reason to divorce. In the UK now, you don't even need a reason. In Nigeria, if you cannot prove a reason, do you know, the judge not tell Ubi Franklin and his ex-wife to go back together. That's there's nothing wrong. What? How did it become so dumb?
When I met the woman that was in her 12th year, she told me she had remarried and that she had 3 children. From the previous marriage, she had 1 son, and the man was the son. So in the course of those 12 years, she remarried and she had 3 sons. I met her in court, and she told me to be strong, that hopefully mine too will soon come to an end. And then the year I met her, that was my 5th year in the court. That was my 5th year, and that was her own 12th year. So when mine continued, you know, I just knew that, well, if I met somebody here that...
Every year saying it's maximum 6 months in the UK, maximum.
Yeah.
So now listen,
So,
a woman is supposed to wait 9 years. Because anything she does in that period, she'll be called an adulteress. It's a stupid...
Yes, an adulteress.
Make we tell
according
ourselves.
to our judicial system. According to our judicial system. Should she remarry and have kids?
When we tell ourselves true.
But you see why I tell you that the judiciary is biased against women. The woman is seen as an adulteress for remarrying and having children in the course of those 12 years or in the course of those 9 years. But I am yet to see a man that will be tagged an adulterer in the high court for remarrying after booting out his wife. I haven't heard of, not in the newspaper, not anywhere. And justice is meant to be blind. Justice is meant to be balanced. I'm here to see a Nigerian man that has been tagged an adulterer for remarrying and having children in the course of a marriage dissolution. Our Nigerian justice system is supposed to be fair and it's supposed to be blind-sided. That's what justice is all about. But here, a woman that remarries in the course of her many years of going through the dissolution process is seen as an adulterer. These are the reforms that we are begging the government, the legislature, we are begging them to change this. These are some of the reasons why Nigeria is ranking so high when it comes to paternity fraud. Because these women are too scared of leaving that toxic marriage or abusive marriage. They'll rather stay in it and have an extramarital affair, and in the course of this affair, might have 1 or 2 children that is not biologically, or that is not belonging to their rightfully wedded husbands. And they'll bring that child into the marriage. Because we are making it impossible for these women to cry out. We are making it impossible for them to speak up. Now I'm going to tell you a story. There was a night I was brutally battered. I would have lost my life that night. I still have my doctor's report, which I think I put up on Instagram one time. I was strangled. That night, I saw my life flash before my eyes. I knew that was the night. That was the night after I met my maker. But because then I was much younger, stronger, I had energy, my reflexes, of course, was sharper then than now. I struggled. I was able to hit him and run out from under him. I called my parents. My parents called the police station. That's the Transamadi police station. If you live in Port Harcourt, you'll know Transamadi police station. They had to call the police station that night. And the police, the DPO, or rather the IPO, that was on duty that night, came down with a black Maria. That's the police van with police officers. The reason why I got that swift response was because my late father was retired. He retired as an assistant controller general in the prisons. So he could call the commissioner's office and he could have them come to my rescue in minutes. I don't know what, I mean, maybe I would not be sitting here today. That was what saved me that night. My father, may his soul rest in peace, he would say this: if you are being battered, if you as much as touch his daughter. He was one of those Igbo fathers that will not collect dowry. When you're coming for dowry, he will tell you to put 2,500 naira. That was the dowry he collected for my elder sister. And for me, he collected 5,000 naira. He will say, you can't pay more than 5,000 naira for any of my daughters. So that the day you touch them, as much as touch them, I will refund you your 5,000 naira. I can never be too broke not to have 5,000 naira to refund. So I will not allow you to pay more than 5,000 naira. That is my late father. Nobody married any of my siblings with more than 5,000 naira dowry. So the day you touch, he's coming for his daughter. That night, the police people came to my house and they bundled my ex to the station. My clothes was torn. I was practically naked. That's how we got to the station and we made all the entry. And the next day, I went to the hospital to see the doctor. Of course, I had sore in my throat, my entire throat. I couldn't talk for 1 week because I was strangled. I saw my life flash before my eyes. Now, to cut a long story short, after about 3 days, the police IPO that was in charge of the matter came to my office to visit me. She said she wanted to come and visit me to find out how I am doing, if I've gone to see the doctor, if I can now talk, and all of those things. Her advice to me was, you're like a daughter to me. You know, this is Nigeria. Men will always be men. If he did not love you, he will not have beaten you the way he did. He beat you because he loves you. That is a policewoman IPO. And after she heard the story why I filed for a divorce, she told me that I am not the first woman to make this kind of complaints. That there are so many women out there that are in relationships like this. That what I should do is I can have a boyfriend on the side. I have to be discreet about it, you know. You can discreetly have a boyfriend on the side. See, a lot of these women you are seeing, that is what they are doing. Look at your beautiful children. You can't just leave everything you have and continue with this divorce. Look, my darling, you are too beautiful. You are too young to be filing for divorce. At this age, it's not necessary. See, already both of you are living separately. You are living in Port Harcourt. He's living in Abuja. You can have a boyfriend on the side. Anytime you know he's in town, just tell your boyfriend he's in town. So you just go back home, take care of him. Then when he goes back, then you can, you know, enjoy yourself. You're such a hardworking woman. You are popular. Dicta yogurt, Dicta bread. We all drink your yogurt in Port Harcourt. We eat your bread. Everybody knows Dicta chi. No. It's embarrassing now. Do you know a lot of people are looking up to you? A lot of young girls are looking up to you. Imagine if they now know you are now finally divorced. Please, at least now the divorce is not over. The divorce case is still in court. My darling daughter, just go back to that court. Tell your lawyer you don't want to continue again. Just pull out the case from the court. Pull it out. Pull it out. Pull it out. You are my daughter. I love you. You're so pretty. I love you. I can never give you wrong advice. I can't. You're like a daughter to me. And I want to be coming regularly to be seeing you. If you have any problem, and if he touches you again, just tell me. Although he has promised me he will not touch you again, Fine girl. I like you. I like you. I like you. I like you. And this advice I'm giving you is what I will give my daughter. See, marriage is for better, for worse. Don't go anywhere. Just go and remove that case. Forget about it. And just face your business. You see this your business, just face it. And face your children. Whenever he's in town, you take care of him. And when he goes back, you continue to enjoy yourself. This thing I'm telling you, a lot of people will not tell you. As you are looking at me like this, I'm a deacon I'm a deacon. I won't call the name of the church. I'm a deacon in my church. So I have seen life. I've been wearing this uniform for 21 years now. Eh? My first daughter is almost your age. Then I was 35. My first daughter is almost your age. Eh? She's almost your age. So please, think about this thing I've told you. Now, this is the security system. This is the police force that is supposed to be protecting women that are battered. I'm just telling you my story, but I'm telling you dozens of women have gone to the police station. They have reported cases of battery and nothing came out of it. They ended up talking about the matter, giving them their own personal advice. Even this lady, police officer woman, told me she will take me to her church. She will introduce me to her pastor, and they will also pray for me. And all these things will be well. That sometimes all these things are demonic manipulation. The man doesn't know what he's doing. By the time they pray for him, that evil spirit that is making him behave the way he is will leave him. So they are demonic manipulations. These are the doctrines we are being taught in churches. When you are seeing a man or you're seeing a woman for who he truly is, they will tell you it's demonic manipulation. There is no demonic anything. We are blaming the devil too much. The devil is being blamed every day for our own choices, for the kind of lifestyle that we enjoy living. We blame the devil for it. Do not let them to continue brainwashing you and telling you this man is acting like this because of the devil. This woman is acting like this because of the devil. No, 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 no. They are acting like that because they damn well like to live that way. And the earlier you realize that and you start drinking water and minding your business, the better off you'll be for it. Those that have died are not here to tell their story. I am sitting down here, I can tell you my story. But it's so sad that the late Osinachi Nwachukwu cannot be here to tell us her story. So please, stay alive, survive that violence act, and come and tell your story so that others can learn from it. Oh, I'll never be successful in life. I'll be the laughing stock of the society. Oh, I have 4 children. I can never find a man that will love me to marry me. I'll never be able to start up a business in my life. I came to Lagos, I started Taste Buds. Taste Buds is striving, Taste Buds is doing well to the glory of God. I still haven't gotten to where I was financially before I filed for my divorce. But I know it's a work in progress. I'm not in a hurry. Like I said, how bad do you want out? My money that I lost is nothing compared to the life that I have today. So please, don't let anyone tell you, oh, you have kids, your life is over. Your life is not over as long as you have breath in your lungs, you can breathe. You can always paint a new picture of the life you want to live, of the future you see for yourself. I painted that picture. I wanted to be free. I wanted to be happy. I wanted to do more than live. I wanted to thrive. Today I am thriving because I'm happy and I have peace of mind. If you're not alive, you can't live to tell your story. Some other person is going to be telling your story and they might be painting you all shades of black and blue that wasn't the real picture. So you stay alive and tell us your story, okay? So Binta_Ghana says, that is right. New beginnings are possible. New beginnings are possible. Beautiful new beginnings are possible. Okay? So please, 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 don't let anyone tell you otherwise that you cannot paint a new picture and start living a new life. No, 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 no. No matter the age. Some people think because they are in their 40s, it's all over for them. They now start waiting for that first child that they will push into marriage so they can run out of their own deadbeat marriage and come and stay in the child's house in the name of Omugo. Or Mugo. There are some women in toxic marriages. They just want to run away from their toxic marriage and move into their children's home. That is topic for another day. Please save yourself. Don't carry your problem and jump into your child's home. Save yourself. Save yourself, okay? So there was someone here that wanted to join me to share their story, but I can't find her anymore. So Fola Sexy _04 says, for me, anyone that their parents as part in bribe and corruption in Nigeria economy, their children will have no peace, either physically, financially, or emotionally. Official Luchi Patrick said, I wonder what the woman is teaching her children. Exactly. But seriously, this is the Nigeria we're living in. It's going to shock you. There are lots of marriages that are what we call open marriages. The men do what they want to do. The husband is doing whatever he wants to do. The wife is doing whatever she wants to do. You know, it's an open marriage. And at the end of the day, we have a Jada, Augustus, Alsina, Will Smith kind of triangle entanglement. That is what happens. So if you don't want to be in an entanglement kind of situation, please come out of that marriage. File for that divorce. Oh, my dear, please. Yare _Ide says, thank God we don't have such primitive mentality and churches are there to destroy lives. Lizzie NG _Lioness says, which life did she see? Life of beating and abuse. Some people have been so abused that they don't even know when they are being abused anymore. So please don't let your situation get to that where you have been abused to the point where you no longer understand the difference from being respected and being abused. So please, while I'm rounding off, I want us to take home some keynotes. We are responsible for speaking up for people that have confided in us. Let us not forget, if there's anything we should take home today, if anyone has confided in you that they are being battered, abused, please speak up for them. It is your responsibility, because should anything happen to them, their blood is on your head, because you were aware of that situation. You are not snitching on them. You are not doing them any disservice by reporting to the rightful authorities. Please, we are also calling on our security agencies to help us pursue these matters with due diligence, with all manner of seriousness when it is being reported. Police should stop acting as counselors. They should stop acting as marriage counselors and do their jobs as security agencies. This way, they will build trust in women. They will build trust in the hearts of abused victims. Because people are watching. If your neighbor sees that they beat up Mama Ngozi and Mama Ngozi went to the police station and reported and nothing happened, if she is being battered, she will never call the police. Because she will say the other day when Mama Ngozi was beaten up badly, the police was called and they did nothing to the husband. So that is a deterrent. So please, if you are in the security force in Nigeria, please help us to take these matters very seriously. If our security agencies cannot support us, protect us, who then do we run to for help? So our security agencies, please, we need you guys to act more efficiently and take matters of domestic abuse seriously. Our churches, we need the doctrines on marriage and divorce to be reformed. We need these doctrines, these present doctrines that they are teaching, to be abolished, and a realistic doctrine that caters to both single, divorced, separated, married to be introduced in churches. There is love, or there should be unconditional love in the body of Christ. There should be fairness in the body of Christ. If there isn't unconditional love and there isn't fairness, then that is not the body of Christ that I know. I'm a Christian. I believe in Yahweh. I read my Bible, and I know that God loves me unconditionally. He is not a biased God. He doesn't love you more than he loves me because I'm divorced. And there is nothing any pastor, there is nothing anybody wants to tell me about that. He loves us all equally. So if you're going to a church that makes you feel not loved because you're divorced or you're separated, leave that church. That is not the body of Christ. Please, let our religious houses, let them stop failing us. Let our security agencies stop failing us. Let our family members and the society at large stop failing us. When someone is being abused, please speak up for them and assure them that nothing is going to change. Their jobs will not be taken away from them as a result of them being divorced. Their children will not be taken away from them as a result of them being divorced. I have been fighting for children custody for 10 years. What am I saying? 11 years. I'm still fighting. My case is still coming up in the Court of Appeal next 2 weeks from now. Children custody case. Yeah, it's still coming up. Because our Nigerian men do not want joint custody. I applied for joint custody for me to have an opportunity of raising my children with my ex, but my ex wanted sole custody. Nigerian men that believe that when a union is over, they have the sole custody of children. Please, we need the government, the judiciary, the legislature, we need them to change this. Women want to leave abusive marriages, but they are afraid of losing their children forever. Let us look into this. So thank you, everyone. Remember, you are worth it. You are complete on your own. You don't need any man or any woman to complete you. If love comes along, it's an added bonus. But you do not need a man or a woman to complete you. You can thrive on your own as an individual. Love yourself first. If you do not love yourself, you cannot love anyone. Come out of that abusive marriage if you are in one. Spread this message. Anyone in an abusive marriage should come out of it ASAP. I love you guys. And for those that will still come to my DM to bash me and to tell me how disappointed they are in me for encouraging divorce, I encourage divorce in a case of a toxic union. If a union has become toxic, I am 100% for divorce. Come out of it. So if you're going to come to my DM to bash me, no problem. Okay? I'm alive. I'm happy. I am not just living, I am thriving. So come out of a toxic union if you are in one. So see you same time next week. We're going to discuss on some more issues on how to survive this. Okay? So this is life's journey. We are in this together. Love you guys. Bye-bye.